Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. Macbeth Act 3, Scene 3. That's what this video is going to deal with. But before I start, I was just amused because some student had asked me, what's the full form of TS? On a lighter note, I think T stands for trust and S stands for support. Okay, so that's what I would really like to believe. Second thing, a shout out to all those students and parents who have contributed by becoming a member of the Study with Sudhir YouTube channel. I know it's a small amount, but that matters because that essentially shows, because as we say, I support SWS, that shows that you appreciate the kind of work that we do here on the YouTube channel, that you trust us with the kind of content that I put out, and that means a lot to us. The gesture is what is really meaningful. So a big thank you to all of you who have supported us by becoming a member of the YouTube channel. As we go on, there will be certain things that I would want to, certain perks that I would want to give exclusively to members so that they do feel special by being associated with Study with Sudhir, right? Otherwise, everything, I repeat, is absolutely free on the YouTube channel. There is nothing which is locked. Everything is absolutely free. Whether you contribute, not contribute through membership or through supers, it does not matter. Everything is free out here. But yes, as I said, for those who do it, a special thank you because it just shows a very warm gesture and it really means a lot. So let me start with Act 3, Scene 3 of Macbeth. Okay, this is taking place at a park near the palace of the Macbeths. We have already met both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in the first two scenes of Act 3. The three murderers enter. Now, initially we met two. Now there is a third one. The first murderer, and this, we would obviously refer to this one as the Banquo murder scene. Because this is where Banquo gets killed. So the three murderers enter and the first says, but who asked you to come and join us here? Asking the third one. So the third murderer says, Macbeth asked me. So second murderer says, he needs not our mistress since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just. So he says, we can trust him. We can trust him. The second murderer tells the first one that we can trust this third murderer because the offices, as in the offices means the instructions that he has stated are identical to the ones that we have been given. That is, the third murderer has also been given the instruction to take part in the killing of Banquo and Fleance. So first murderer says, then stand with us means then stay with us. The western part, the west means the western part of the sky, okay, is still having some light. You know, there is some streaks of daylight there, which means it is not yet completely dark. It is getting dark, but it is not completely dark yet. ये murderers भी इतना poetically बात करते हैं शेक्सपियर के ज़माने में. Now Spurs the lated traveler apace, and the travelers who are late are hurrying to reach their inns. The inns means the place where they will stay before it is too dark, and near approaches the subject of our watch. Okay, so the travelers who are late, they are kind of hurrying up and walking fast in order to reach their inn before it is dark. And the person who is our target, referring to Banquo and Fleance, the subject of our watch. The subject means the person who we are looking out for. He is actually approaching very near. Hark, that listen carefully, I hear horses. Now, Banquo, his voice is heard, but he's not on stage. So he can't be seen. He's not visible, but you can hear his voice. The audience can hear him. So Banquo says that, hey, give us some light. Okay, he's asking for some light because it's not very clear. It's not very bright either. It's getting dark. So he says, so he's asking someone to provide light. The second murderer says, then it is he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court. So he says, that is him. That is Banquo, because all the other guests of the king, that is referring to Macbeth, are already inside the castle. In the court means they are inside the castle right now. Within the note of expectation means all those who are in the list of guests, who are the nobles, the lords, and the ladies who are in the list of guests. All of them are already inside. He's the only one who is not there. So this voice that we are hearing has to be that of Banquo, the subject of our watch. This is a good, important key phrase also, the subject of our watch. First murderer says, you can hear his horses go about. That is, you can hear his horses being taken to the stables. Now from the murderers, from the sounds, the murderers can make out that Fleance has taken out the torch and some servant has taken the horse to the rear side of the castle. Now, all this is being done in the form of sounds because obviously, I think William Shakespeare did not want to show horses on stage. So, kharcha bhi bach jayega. He didn't have to show the horses. So, he's just doing it through sound imagery right there. So, third murderer says, almost a mile, but he does usually. So, all men do. From hence to the palace gate, make it their walk. So he says that it is almost a mile from the gate of the palace to the inside of the palace. But Banquo, like all men usually do, walks from the gate of the palace to the palace. Okay, so there is a distance of a mile, but he would also walk just like all people do. The second murderer says, here comes a light, here comes a light. At that point in time, Banquo and Fleance, holding a torch, enter. The third murderer says, it is he. Then he says, get ready. Stand to it means, Banquo says, it will be rain tonight. That it will rain tonight. And it shows Shakespeare's use of the various elements because the overcast sky indicates a dark deed that is going to be committed. And rain adds an element of despair and in terms of theater, a theatrical excitement to what is going to happen. Because if you see even films, Hindi films or any kind of films, you see a lot of action takes place in the rain because that kind of lends an element of drama and excitement to what is happening in terms of action. One of my favorite directors, Maniratnam's climax is usually in the rain. Okay, because it again, it kind of elevates it that much more. It will rain tonight. Let it come down. So he says this thing. So first murderer says, then let it rain. Now he's using it in terms of a pun. While he's talking in terms of the actual rain, in terms of the elements, he's talking in terms of raining. That the attack on Banquo. So the murderers attack Banquo. Banquo says, "Oh, this is betrayal. This is treachery. Run, good Fleance, run, run, run. Thou mayest revenge, O slay." So he says, someday you can take revenge. Someday you can take revenge. And to the one of the murderers, he says, "Oh, you slave," means you are a villain, a rogue. So he's telling Fleance to run away, and he says, someday you can take revenge for what is happening right now. And Banquo is killed, but Fleance escapes in the cover of darkness. So third murderer says, "Who put out the light?" So the first murderer says, wasn't that what we were supposed to do, to put off the light? Third murderer says, there is only one body here. The sun has fled. The sun has escaped. Okay, there is only one down. That is only one. Banquo is dead. So third murderer says, we have lost best half of our affair. So he says, we failed in half our mission. Okay, in best half of our affair means we failed in half our mission. We could accomplish only half the job that was entrusted to us by the king. First murderer says, let us get out of here. Let us away means let us get out of here and tell Macbeth how much we managed to do. That is, we could manage to kill Banquo, but we could not manage to kill Fleance. So this is how the Banquo murder scene, a short scene, enters, but dramatic in terms of the overall setting of darkness, rain, and the murder that takes place, in which the sun manages to escape, but Banquo gets killed. So now I will see you in Act 3, Scene 4. I hope till now, with the amount of detail in which I'm explaining, Scene 1, Scene 2, and Scene 3 are absolutely clear. You understand the text, more than half the battle is won. Just like आधा काम हो गया, बाकी आधा हम बाद में करेंगे when we do the questions and answers. Okay, tata, bye.